Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Everyone seems very shy today. Welcome back to the broadcast.
Yep, I am here. Carla, you're live.
Carla is here. And Wim and Desiree, loyal as ever.
Goedemorgen. Goedemorgen. Onze trouwe fans.
Ja.
Leuk dat jullie er zijn, jongens.
Petra, hi.
Hallo, Petra. Oh, for sure. Why you did not respond? Waarom heb je niet gereageerd? Want jullie hebben vast wel stoere verhalen. Huh?
Ik hoor jullie echt heel slecht.
Oké.
Ik weet niet of het...
Good morning, Ingrid. Hey, hi Paul en Yvonne. Hallo. Hallo, goedemorgen.
En Carla, je kon ons hiervoor kon je ons wel goed horen, toch?
Ja, nu ook.
Oké.
Goedemorgen,
Yvonne. De verbinding is een beetje...
We hebben tot nu toe alleen nog maar een Nederlandse crowd die inlogt.
Ja, dat is makkelijk.
Ja. Dat is makkelijk voor de verhalen. Ja. En Albert en Sonja zeggen goedemorgen. Good morning.
Hoi Cindy. Weer een week voorbij.
En Cindy is er ook. Hallo Cindy. Yep. Goedemorgen. En Solama Pagi is er ook.
And so that is not entirely Dutch anymore, and now definitely not Dutch anymore.
Okay. Hi Katrien. Goedemorgen.
And Yvonne wants to join. Okay, Yvonne, I will send you a private message on Facebook with our streaming address. So give me a couple of minutes to sort that out. And
and what about Catherine? Catherine was supposed to tell a story as well.
Yep.
What about it, Catherine? Katrin, hast du auch noch eine Geschichte zu erzählen?
And I think Yvonne, let me just take a quick look at the email I sent, because
Vuurvlinder.
Vuurvlinder. Yeah. So Yvonne, you will have an email with the address that you can join, and then we'll see you here. Okay, shall we do that? So check your email in a few minutes, and then you can join our broadcast.
Okay.
And Katrien has joined us.
Hallo, hi, Katrien. Goedemorgen. Goedemorgen.
And hello, Changli from Tonkaina.
Hello, Changli. Hey, you are also becoming our very loyal fan, huh?
Yes, exactly. Efrain is saying Chaptikus Lama.
Eh?
Okay.
Chaptikus Lama? Okay.
Bagaimana dong?
Apa yang
And
lama dan? Apa yang lama dan?
for the second time in the history of our broadcast, Satoka has joined us. Hi.
Hi,
Hi,
Toka.
Satoka.
No, she's always watching.
She's always watching, but she doesn't want to get anybody to know that.
Yeah. And Wil, hi Wil.
Goedemorgen, Wil.
And Ernst is with us as well.
Hallo, Ernst. Goeiedag. Leuk
So-
dat je er bent.
And so, yeah, we're going to talk about Tall Tales, your best diving stories. And I think I want to give Carla the honor to start because you were the first one to join us. So,
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And
Well-
anybody that watches and still has an interesting or a horror story or the most
Yeah.
beautiful dive or the very first dive, yeah, just send a message or let us know, and Arjen will organize it.
so Carla,
Okay.
There you go.
well,
Well, the dive, my most exciting dive was in the Philippines, was near Apo Island. And it was the most exciting dive, I think, because it was the first time I could really enjoy a drift dive. And the environment was beautiful. There were so many fish. There were so many different kinds of fish. The coral was beautiful. And it was an early morning dive. So I didn't bring my camera. I know no photos. It didn't happen, but this really happened. It was a drift dive, like I said, and it was going really fast. But it was just going along the reef. So you could just hang in your BCD and watch the movie going by. You didn't have to move a fin, really. And the only thing was if there was a block of coral, you just took a deep breath, go over it, and down again. At one point, there was a turtle coming right upon me, and I was just thinking, well, you go out of the way because you are better in that than I am, because I have to manage the current, I have to stay at the same level. For you, it's much easier, and finally he did. But it was it was really fun to. I really thought for a moment that that he would swim to me. There was one spot. There were 8 turtles were asleep. So it was
Wow.
really amazing. It was so fun. It was an early morning dive. So after that, breakfast was very deserved. But like I said, it was the first time I could really surrender to the current and let it go. And that was such a nice experience. And if
so it
I'm
was a
thinking
wonderful
about
dive.
Sorry?
A wonderful dive. That's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, it was just the total. And if I think about the dives in Manado and Lembe, there are so many pieces which I liked, and so many special encounters. We had the sperm whale at Bunaken, was last year or 2 years ago. Don't remember. I think last year.
Maybe 3 years? 3 years ago?
So that long already, Simone?
Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess.
It was
Two-
the same
more than
year
2
as the
years.
orcas.
No, that was not last year, I remember.
No,
That
it
was not
2
last
years
year,
ago,
no.
I think.
Mm-mm.
And the hairy octopus, I saw that at Peters Point. That was 3 years ago, I think. So they are really at the mainland as well. And in Lembe, we made such a lot of beautiful dives with all the strange creatures which are living over there. So, well, you
Yeah,
can
that's the
just tell.
strength of the area is the variation. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
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 And like I said, that Philippine dive is just because it was the first time I could really relax and enjoy the drifting. And it was going that fast. It was just like you went like this across the reef. So
Walibi.
yeah, it was good that I didn't bring a camera because you couldn't do anything with it except filming maybe, but not for photograph.
Right.
Okay. Wow, nice, right? And that these are dives you never forget, huh?
No. I was thinking because I sent Arjen a mail yesterday evening. For me, yesterday evening. Well, it would be nice to tell a story about the dives that happened in Manado. And now I was looking at my logbook yesterday evening, and I couldn't find one particular dive that was so. That makes so much indruk. How do you call it?
Yeah.
A lasting impression.
Impression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
Made a
the
very
dive
strong
in the
impression.
Philippines.
Yeah.
So.
Nice,
And I made
Carla.
a lot of beautiful dives with you.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
easy to
just
hear.
to make sure, yeah.
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 Well, I've been more often to Manado than to the Philippines, so that says enough.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
that's my story.
fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks, Carla.
Oh, and maybe there's one more thing I want to mention. That's the mating of the cuttlefish here in Holland. That's also very special.
Oh yeah,
to
that
see.
is very special. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Hi, Rudy.
Hallo
He's checking.
Rudy. Goedemorgen.
And
Hi,
Siep
Rudy.
is
Long
also
time no
here.
see. Hi Siep. Goedemorgen.
Nice. So thanks, Carla.
You're
Cool
welcome.
story. And I would like now to give the podium to Katrien. So Katrien, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
We don't hear you, Catherine. You have to say something.
I would.
You can
Yes.
Yeah,
hear
we
me?
can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear any voices. So
You cannot?
okay. Yes, I can. Okay.
Good morning, Katrien.
But I can hear a lot of voice. You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you
Yes,
fine.
we can.
Okay. Okay. One of a special dive I had was in Greece, in Europe. Greece is not a very colorful underwater or has such big schools of fish, but Greece has very beautiful rock formations, and you can dive at grottos and caves a lot. And so I had there one special dive. We were on my favorite places with name Butterfly Cave. We dove into a great entrance of this cave, and inside the cave it's very, very dark. It's black. You can see nothing. We use the dive lamp, and so we go into the cave. After 50 meters, the cave becomes smaller. It's a very narrow channel, and when you pass this channel, you came to a window like a butterfly. As I swam through the channel, through the cave, and I thought, no, I'm not alone here. There was moving anything. and I was very frightened because I don't know what was it. There was moving, and then I take my lamp, and I saw it was a big seal. There was sleeping.
Seal.
A seal, a big seal, and there was sleeping, and then the seal woke up and looked at me with dark, big eyes, and I was so frightened. Yes, a big seal. And then the big seal was moving and pushed past me. Just pressed me against the wall from this cave because the cave was not big for both of us. And I was standing on the wall, and the seal come in front of me and go out to the butterfly to the below to brace. It was a very, very special, amazing moment for me. And I will never forget when seal looks at me with the big dark eyes. I can show you the butterfly windows when you want. I try it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can you see this butterfly window?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, we'll give it a few seconds before it pops up.
Can you see this?
No, we're not seeing anything at the moment.
Oh,
So at the bottom, you go to share screen, right?
On
And
the
then
bottom.
oh,
You look
Oh.
slightly confused, Katrin.
okay. No.
Can you find it?
Yes, it's on my screen.
But you have
Okay,
to
so-
share the screen. There's a button underneath.
Okay,
It says
then
mute, stop
it was a
cam,
very,
camera.
very special moment of me.
Okay. Well,
Can you see? Can you share the screen?
I think Katrin's having some issues with connectivity. Katrin.
Yeah.
So
No, maybe it's because we are guests, because I don't see the button either.
don't.
no, you should have it. I'm pretty sure, because any guest can share their screen.
I cannot go back.
I don't see it.
Oops.
Okay. No worries.
Okay.
You found it? No?
Do you think it'll work, Katrin, or?
No, it doesn't work.
Well,
Oh,
if you want, if you know what, why don't you email me the picture and I can show it from here?
Okay.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that. And then we'll pass the. Do you have anything else to add to this story? Katrin? I don't know what.
no.
She last time she also had problems. Oh dear. Anyway, we'll get back to Katrin when she has sorted that out. And yeah, please send me your picture, and then we will show that later. I'm very curious.
Yep.
Next ones to join us are Wim and Desiree. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Hallo. Hallo.
Hey.
Ja, No.
Hi, Desiree, nice to see you too, finally.
Ja,
Hi, hallo Desiree.
hallo.
Oh, man.
Leuk om jullie te zien.
Ja,
Vinden wij ook.
dat zie je ook.
So, yeah. For everyone who's listening here, Wim and Desiree, they made a booking with us last year, or beginning of this year.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, COVID-19 hit and they could never make it. And since then, they have been with us on the broadcast every week, very loyal, and we never met them. And thanks to technology, we can finally meet them. And Wim always tells us, we feel like we've been on holiday with you guys for a year. Longest holiday ever. But of course, it would be much better if you could do it here.
Yeah, and
So,
the best prepared holiday, I think.
yeah.
Learning every week. And even Desiree was still learning to dive in the beginning. We were really pushing to get her the first exam. So yeah, for us, more or less it worked because we will be better.
A bit more prepared when you arrive.
Yeah, much more prepared.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Wim and Desiree, what kind of diving story would you like to share with us today?
Well, I've dived in Egypt. I've dived in Bonaire.
I'm snorkeling.
But the first time we dive together is just in Holland. And well, there we have her second dive after she passed the exam. That's more or less the story we want to tell. It's my 145 dive, and yours?
46. 46.
46.
Right.
We start late in the evening, still light enough. It was just a tryout with our group of divers. So we dive with 4 people. Desiree in front with an experienced diver because she still didn't have much experience, and I with another experienced diver in the back. It was still bright underwater, but we had our flashlights with us, and we were using those. But the one of Desiree was giving up. So I told her, well, take mine. She refused, of course, everything I asked her. She refused the first time. But then it became a little bit darker and darker. I thought, well, no matter what, I give her my flashlight. So, well, at that time she was thankful for that because she noticed that it was a little bit darker and she was happy with my flashlight. But I didn't have any flashlight anymore. So I just follow the lights in the dark. And that gives at a certain moment also, you don't see that much. You see, of course, well, light, and you see what happened in front of you because 2 divers are diving in front of you, and one beside me with the flashlight. But he is, of course, looking to other things and not shining light on water, but I'm looking at. And then at a certain moment, we saw a big fish, snook bass and snooks. At a certain moment, I feel the snook bass touching my hand and going past my, passing my, because I didn't see him. I just feel he's going ahead of me. And then he at that moment, the 2 divers in front of me, Desiree and another guy, were looking at een baars. And
Sorry, there were what?
een baars.
Bars.
And I
Bass,
don't.
okay, yeah. A bass,
And,
yeah.
And that one was swimming from right to left, you'd say. And the snoekbaars, which was beneath me, of course, saw that in the flashlight. So he went quickly in front of me and grabbing that baars just for a split of a second. And of course, the divers in front of me didn't see it coming, but suddenly the baars was gone. So that I had on film, and that's a really nice. It's a split second. I don't know if I can let you show it. Just if I press the share
Yeah,
stream.
yeah. So you should have your picture open already.
Yeah, I have it open. I have
Yeah,
to share
right. And then you share screen, and then you choose
Oh, this one?
application window.
Yeah, there.
There you go. Yeah, got it.
So here there's the snoekbaars just passing me just a few seconds before it was touching my hand.
Wow.
And I will play
Okay.
it, and there, whoops.
Oh,
And
wow.
then he was gone. Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's a lucky shot.
And then
Big boy.
this one was just a little bit further. It was a dead eel, which really crunchy lying there.
And
And
then the lobster eating it. Ugh.
yeah, it's trying to grab it a little bit, and yeah.
So that's
First-
a lobster eating a dead eel.
Yeah. At first, I thought it's just an hose, and water hose or something like that. But that's the end of the film.
Wow. Nice.
And
Very
then,
nice.
of course, we came up, and it was already, well, when we came up, it was not that dark, but in the water, you can see it was quite dark. And then the guys of our club, a lot of instructors were still were a little bit anxious and waiting, because our first star diver, which was just passing the exam, was still underwater with me, and it was dark. She shouldn't.
Oh, she shouldn't make a night dive, of course.
Exactly. So they were waiting. Where is she? She just made 2 dives, and now she's already missing.
Was and it was 70 minutes.
But they didn't really. They thought, well, that she was diving with me, and I was also still in. And now I'm a 2-star, but at that time I was still a 1-star diver. But they didn't realize she was, in fact, diving with a 4-star diving, one of our most experienced divers of the group. So then it was already okay.
Wow. That's
Oh, nice. And
great
a lucky
stuff,
shot. Really.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's that we want to share with the
And
rest.
this was in Vinkerveen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Very well known to me
Yeah.
then.
Thanks, Wim en deze day.
Okay.
Heel
Good
leuk.
stuff.
Leuk.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. I quickly want to go to Katrin's picture. She emailed it to me. So much interactivity, guys. It's fantastic. So, Katrin, you are going here. Hi, there you are. And let me just share that.
Die kan je uitdoen, toch?
And here is Katrin's picture of the seal. Can everybody see that?
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Wow,
That's nice.
I didn't even know that seals are swimming in Greece, actually, that they were in the Mediterranean.
Yeah, who
didn't know
knew?
that. I thought they were in colder climates. Oh, wow. It has a white line on its belly. Catherine,
Yeah.
are you sure it's not Jürgen?
She's muted.
Oh,
Catherine, you do get the chance to defend yourself, but great picture, Catherine. Thank you. Awesome.
but fantastic picture. Very
Good
lucky
stuff.
also. Yeah.
And I thank you. I don't want to keep them waiting any longer. Ivo, Nico, hello, guys.
Goedemorgen.
Goedemorgen. Good morning.
Goedemorgen.
Well,
And just quickly for those who are typing comments, we will get to that after their story. So, hi.
Hi. I want to tell you about the dive I think was the most beautiful we make together. Not only together,
Okay.
but more divers, more than normal. We go back to 2015 in August, 15th of August. 17? Okay. It was Independence Day of Indonesia, and we were invited by Simone to enjoy with the group of Thalassa to enjoy an event was organized by the Marine to replant corals in Indonesia.
Oh yeah.
It was an event. We want to try to go with a lot of divers to replant coral, and it had to be 500 divers, I think, and it was also to come in the Guinness Book of Records. It was an amazing dive. We go there by 2 boats of Thalassa, and we came there to the site where everything was planned to do. It was amazing. So many ships and so many divers on the shore. It was just amazing to see. It was not started, I think, on time, but it's almost normal, I think, in Indonesia.
True.
No comment.
But it was planned, military. When we get a sign, we have to go into the water. We go to the places was covered with buoys. We have to go there. Everyone has to have his own buoy. When go also on sign, we go down. There was amazing things to see. A lot of metal tables, 1 meter by 1 meter, 1 meter between the tables to sit there on the sand. When we can sit there, we saw that there was concrete blocks with plastic tubes, some pieces of coral, and some metal wires. First, we want to start, but it was not allowed. First, we have to wait. And then we heard a sound, and it was the national hymn of Indonesia, was played on the water. It was amazing to hear that. And after that, it was again waiting, because there was someone who wanted to talk to us on the water. It was the Prime Minister of Indonesia. Well, it was amazing to hear that, but after that we can finally go to do our job. It was bind the corals to the plastic tube with the iron wire. After I think half an hour, again a sign, stop and go up, and when you see 500 divers come from 5 meters just blowing the BCDs full of air, it was amazing. Everyone screamed and everyone laughed. It was one big family, and that was the amazing job I think we ever done on the water. It was amazing. After
Awesome.
we've been there for 4 times back, year after year. to see what's growing, if it's growing, if it does what we hope that it will be doing. It was nice. If everyone wants to see photos or wants to read the reports, you can go to the website duikeninbeeld.tv, a Dutch site. You can search for my name, Nico van Gelderen, or Yvonne Lagarde, and then you see all the reports from all those years we've been back. The first report is from the event itself, and I thought that Rudy was also here. The photos there from the event were made by Rudy Bloemen. And after that, we have made photos years after that, and you can see them. Maybe nice to see and look for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was a fantastic.
Yes.
Ivan. That was a fantastic event. And to be very honest, I had my sincere doubts about the organization, but it went perfectly fine. It went so smooth, everything. It was very impressive. And yeah, we did something really good, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yep.
Nice. Thanks a lot. Okay, so before we continue, there's just a couple of comments I would like to go through. Paul and Yvonne.
Maybe one more. Yvonne wants to share also a story. So.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let me just go over
Really?
this, and then Yvonne can share her story. So Paul and Yvonne would like to know if what's going to happen about the virtual diving show in February, which is the Duikvaker show going virtual. Anything you want to share about that, Simone?
Well, of course, we will be there, and we will be there multilingual. It means that we will be there in Dutch, in German, and in English. We will try to do that as much as possible from Indonesia, so you can step by anytime when we are still awake. And then I do hope that Paula and Yvonne, who are always, every year, are helping us on the show, will take over at the moment that Arjen and me, we have to sleep. Because, and we will have new footage, we will have new videos, we will have a special offer. We have, actually everything that we always have on the dive show, except a cup of coffee. You have to organize that by yourself. I'm very sorry about that.
Right. So that's happening on the 5th until the 7th of February at virtualexpo.nl. That's the Duikvaker virtual dive show. So yes. And then Axel, this one's for you, Wim and Desiree. And ik denk aan duiken bij Oostvoornse Meer.
Yep.
Definitely.
Koud hoor.
Yeah. All right. So Yvonne, it looks like you're ready to share your story.
Yes.
All right. The floor is yours.
I'm in now.
You are.
Yep.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you fine.
Yes. Okay. It was not a dive in Manado. It was our first dive with our diving club.
Yeah.
We went to Belgium by car, and then we come there, and only 4 of us were from the diving club because it was 7 degrees. So we thought it was cold, Simone, but we thought there was nobody. Maybe there will be 5, 6, 7 divers, but when we were there was lots of people. So we went in the water, and it was so foggy. We have to be very close to each other. And there was a parcours you can go by compass. Then you see several statues or something like that. But we didn't see anything, only fog only the fins of each
The
other.
person in front of you.
Yeah.
And there was a diver too with us and the instructor. And the compass of the instructor goes kapot, or what's in English?
Breaks
Exhausted.
down.
Out of order.
Break down.
Out of order, yeah.
So he has to look on the computer of Ron, the other diver. So we have make a dive of 28 minutes, and at the last pass we dive between two statues, and that's only because I touch it by my elbow, and that's all what I've seen on the whole dive, because it was so foggy. The people was diving there, and the water was also 7 degrees, and it was when we were up in the sky, it was so cold, but that was all, and I never forget it. It was cold, it was foggy, I didn't see anything, and the instructor's compass was out of order, so we have but what? I don't know. We didn't follow the parkour. So that was our first dive with the diving club.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That kind of dives you actually also always remember.
Yeah, and it always, because it is in Holland, it was in Belgium, in Holland it could be also when it's very foggy, you don't see anything, but now we know we can go deeper, we can follow the sand, and sometimes you find a little thing, but we never been there since it was in 2008, and we never been there to follow the parkour, so maybe
you still have to do that, right?
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah,
But
of course.
That was my story.
Thanks, Yvonne.
Yeah,
Nice.
very funny.
All right.
This kind of dives always stay with you for a very long time.
And then Simone, well, thanks everyone for sharing. It's a lot of fun. And we talked about, Simone, you and I talked about before the broadcast, we would share some of our own tall tales, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And of course, everybody who knows Simone already knows that Simone has stories for days, for sure. But I would like to share my story, if you don't mind. And that is my... all right.
Because it's also a little bit of a shared story, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Together or not? Well,
it is. Well, it's my story, so I'm going to tell it.
I'm not telling you.
So, okay. So you have to know, I learned diving when I came here around 4 years ago. I've got approximately, I think, around 160 dives now under my belt. So I've done one dive before I came here with Simone in 1990 in Yugoslavia, way, way, way back, which was kind of like a DSD kind of thing. And but anyway, fast forward to here, and the resort in Lembe was under construction. And Simone asked me, "Hey, you wanna come? You wanna join?" And I'm gonna go over there and see how it's progressing. And I said, "Yeah, sure." And she's like, "Well, do you want to make a dive as well?" "Yeah, why not? Never dived there, so sure." And I was really wet behind the ears. I had just done like 6 or 7 dives, not much more than that. So anyway, we go there. The captain and some crew, we go in the boat. It's just me and Simone together. We go down just in front of the resort. I believe it's Pinto Colada. We descend, and everything nice, fine. We're floating along quietly, really nice. And Simone is picking up some trash here and there. I'm trying to help where I can. And of course, with me being very inexperienced still, Simone makes sure that I'm okay. Yep, I'm okay. And then not shortly after that, the current starts picking up. And when we were still drifting, we started flying. And I remember the image, me following Simone, navigating through this well, like you said, Yvonne, this parkour of corals and rocks. And I remember it being like a video game, where Simone is my video game character, and so I'm trying to keep up as best as I can. And yeah, there were some moments I remember where we put our sticks on rocks to try and hold on, but we were like, you know what, we just might as well keep flying along. And then all the while, Simone is holding this big plastic bag full of stuff this trash that we found there. And then after about 20 minutes of that nonsense, Simone decided rightfully, okay, it's enough, we're going up. All right, so we go up and we surface. And we surface, and Simone and I are kind of looking around, and we had no idea where we were. We had no idea. I didn't recognize anything. And okay, so what are we going to do? And Simone says, don't panic. I said, I'm not panicking. Honestly, I wasn't panicking at all. I felt perfectly fine. And so we tried to snorkel to the shore, which was a beach, but it was an outgoing tide and on corals. And of course, we don't wear boots. We have full foot fins, so that didn't work. So we got back, and then we floated around for a little bit. Simone got out her SMB and started whistling. A boat arrived, looks at us, very certain they saw us, ignored us, dropped people off at a jetty around 50 meters away from us, and then goes back again. And our boat is nowhere in sight. So yeah, so we're kind of floating there. And then what do you know, 15 minutes after that, our boat comes around the corner, and finally they picked us up. And yeah, I think the captain of that boat got a bit of an earful from Simone. But that was definitely the most exciting dive. I will never forget that. It was quite eventful. So that's my story.
Yeah, it was a big tumble. We were really, I am used to some currents, but that one was, wow. We were like tumbling, really. And I was like, Arjen was 10 meters away from me, and like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. It was like snowboarding, like,
yeah, it felt like
fun.
it. Yeah. And hey, John is joining us, and he says the most exciting dive was the day that they called me Spider-Man.
Yeah,
That's
where
very
does
true.
that come from? Huh? I don't remember.
I know.
What was the reason we start calling you Spider-Man? I forgot, actually.
Well, John, please, you chew on that answer and type it in the comments, please. And so I think, Simone.
Yep.
Would you like to share a story?
Yeah. Yvonne asked me about the most scary story, but we already had a cave story, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you my very first dive. Okay. Now, you have to imagine that it is a long time ago, right? My very first dive was in May, 42 years ago. Now, at that time, there were not a lot of female divers, that's for one. There was definitely no equipment for women. And yeah, let's say that we were a minority part of the diving industry. So I was one of a group of 35 boys, and we were supposed to supposedly make our first dive in the Spiegelplas in Holland. It was in May. I didn't have my own dive suit, so I had to wait until all 35 men were done, and then I could borrow one of their dive suits. Now, the water was 6 degrees at that time, and the guy was about as tall as me, but a little bit bigger. You know, I was 20 kilo lighter than I am now. So I was very skinny, and yeah. Well, briefings at that time were not part of diving. There, you just go with the flow. And so in my imagination and watching television, when you put your head underwater, it's blue, right? It's blue and beautiful, and that is what I had in mind. So I get in that very cold, too big, wet wetsuit, which was not pleasant, I can tell you. But I'm very excited. It's my very first dive. So I get into the water, which was freezing cold. I put my face underwater and I see nothing. Nothing. You know bruine bonen soup? Well, it looked like soup bruine bonen. Nothing at all. And I thought, yeah, that makes sense. I have a positive attitude, so that makes sense. 35 people walked into the water here, so of course you don't see anything. It's all sandy, right? Okay, so I was with my instructor, and my instructor held my hand, and we started swimming. And it didn't get any better. It was that he held my hand that I knew that he was still there, because I never saw him. We were swimming for, in my estimation, about 5 minutes, and I thought, yes, that's it. Now I know I am right. The water is blue, really nicely blue. And I swim 1 more meter, and I hit my head to the bottom of a boat, a big blue boat. And that was my wake-up call. So that was like, okay, water is not blue in Holland, right? Okay, the dive continues. I'm already a little bit disillusioned. And we are swimming over a tree trunk, and I see a very tiny fish, about 5 centimeters. And at that point, my instructor gives me the signal, I'm out of air. Now, that time, we don't have pressure gauge, we don't have octopus.
Wow.
So the procedure is buddy breathing. Okay, so I thought, all right, I didn't know we are going to do exercises, but yeah, if you want to do an exercise, I'm fine with that. So we start buddy breathing, and we continue buddy breathing, and we swim and we are buddy breathing, and it continues for another 10 minutes. And I was like, well, I'm done. You can see that I can do it. And then I hit the sand with my knees, and I was like, okay, I have to go up a little bit. So I tilt my head, and I'm at the surface. I was sitting on my knees in the sand with my head out of the water. And we had a total dive time of 17 minutes in total, 17 minutes, the maximum depth of 2 meters and 20 centimeters. And my instructor was out of air, completely out of air. So, and that was my very first dive experience. Now, after that, nothing could go wrong anymore, honestly.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
a different kind of diving. That doesn't happen now anymore.
Different time. And what year was this?
42 years ago. So that is 1978.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So John has come
1978.
back with a story. Oh, Ingrid has to leave the stories to make another one of my own, she says. Probably will be a cold dive, but the sun is shining. Great. At least you're diving.
Enjoy, Ingrid. Enjoy.
Enjoy it. Yeah. So just going back to John, Spider-Man, the reason they called him I will just tell this story for him, because he told me when he was here. John is also a very regular guest of ours, and all the staff call him Spider-Man. And the reason he's known as Spider-Man, because if I remember correctly, he was diving one of the walls at Bunaken, and he was the last in the group, and the group rounds a corner of that wall, and for some reason he loses his weights. It drops out of his pockets. Maybe it was just old. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. And so to prevent him from shooting up to the surface, he hangs on to this wall. And then he, like Spider-Man, he's like, slowly crawling along the wall, not to be, just to stay at that depth. At that very moment, he rounds the corner, and at the same time, one of the dive guides sees him, and they meet, and the guide immediately spots what's going on, and he retrieves his weights, puts it back in, and they continue the dive. And since then, John was known as Spider-Man. That's the short version of it. Good stories. So yeah.
Good stories. Yeah.
I think that's about it. We've had everyone.
But we have a dessert. So?
You want a dessert?
Yeah, toch?
Yeah.
Something you prepared, right?
I have prepared something, and I have prepared 3 things. So why don't we vote, everyone? What do you think?
Huh?
Why don't we make a vote? So I have 3 videos. 3 videos. I've got the best of macro, the best of wide angle, and I've got the biggest octopus ever seen here in the Manado Bay.
So which one do you want to see?
Yeah.
Number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 3. Catherine says number 3. Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
All right. We'll do number 3.
Number 3 it is.
Okay. So Simone, if you can just talk a little bit about this footage. Remember to unmute when I start the video.
Yep. I think when
yeah, you need to unmute, Simone.
Okay, it was a dive where I was actually making a movies for the Sponsor Stream, and at one moment at the corner of my eye, I saw something moving, and that was this guy. And yeah, octopuses are a little bit shy, so he tried to disappear, and you cannot really see it right this, but he was really, really big. And I was diving with Fendi. Fendi was a little bit behind this rock. And I said, come and have a look. And we have a special signal for octopus. And he said, yeah, I already saw it. And I was like, no, you didn't. Yeah, I did. I said, come on and have a look. And he saw this huge octopus. And he is really big guy. And threatening and showing off. And
yeah,
his head, the body and the head is approximately like 40 centimeters. So you can imagine. And Fendi was so impressed that he stayed back a little bit because he was really like, wow, this one is really, really big. It seems that this very big octopus had a partner, and the partner is just on the right side inside a small hole. And whether it's the male or the female, we were told that the big one is actually the female, and she really doesn't like all the attention. And the male was hiding in a small rock there. But yeah, it was definitely for me the biggest octopus I've ever seen, and it was really nice that it came all the way out. It was a really lucky shot.
Yeah, you were very lucky with that one. Perfect timing too with the video. Great.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got a couple of other videos lined up, but we can play those in future broadcasts. We collected a lot of stuff, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe Wim and Desiree, it looks like you want to share something more with us.
Unmute. You have to unmute.
Ja, we hadden eigenlijk dat verhaaltje wat Simone vertelde. Dat had ik al een keertje eerder gehoord en toen heb ik er een klein filmpje van gemaakt.
Oké.
Ik weet niet of dat je dat kan laten zien van de plek volgens mij waar Simone haar eerste
Okay.
De spiegelplaat.
duik heeft gemaakt. De spiegelpas. En dan moet je dan dus, dit is een beetje snel gespeeld, want je moet dit hele stuk
Dat
lopen.
heb je ook laten zien. Dat herinner ik me.
Ja.
En dan moet je maar lopen. Dat is, wij duiken daar bijna niet. En dus er staat er een bordje Spiegelpolderplas, nou leuk, maar loop maar ook, rustig door. Je hebt er eigenlijk echt nog verder doorlopen.
So for everyone not speaking Dutch, this is the place where Simone's diving story took place.
Well, it has changed a lot, guys, because actually we could get the cars tot almost at the edge of the water.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then it is.
It has changed a
I've
lot.
heard stories that it was indeed a little bit farther away, and here finally you can hit the diving spot.
Yeah, there was also no pier.
Yeah, so it was more to the right, more to where the boats are
Anchored.
Anchored, yes. So the more to the right, there was the old spot. But this is how far we have to walk these days to the same water. Say.
Yeah.
And even then, at the end, you see a beach, and that's also a spot to dive. But there's more to walk. It would be also something to tell later on, or maybe now. Deze heeft made a dive over there, and then she forgot to take her weight with her, so I have to walk 10 minutes back to pick up the weights out of the car and walk 10 minutes again.
Wim, that's real life. That's real love, Wim. That's real love.
Yes.
Ja, dat was mijn tweede of derde duik.
Yeah, and then you forget stuff.
So that's diving in Holland.
Yes.
Yep.
Very different from here. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
I did plenty of that.
Yeah.
Would you like to do it again, Simone?
Nope. Nope. Did that. Been there. Nope. Too cold.
Yeah.
Niet zeggen dat ik geen zicht had dan.
Okay.
Nice. Thank you, Wim.
Okay.
Awesome. Wow, the time flew by. We've passed the hour already. I want to thank you guys who've joined us for sharing your stories. You know, every week we're kind of brainstorming, hey, what can we do? And every week is always a little bit of an experiment for us to try and come up with some concept and to make something different and fun every week. Simone, thank you for joining and sharing your stories. Wim, especially Desiree now as well. Nice to meet you face to face. Here's to hoping that we can definitely meet face to face as soon as possible. Simone, can you reveal a little bit about next week already, or what do you think?
Well, next week we have done. This one is stream number 33, I think.
This is 35.
Right? 35. Guys, we have been streaming for almost a full year, right? Since April.
Yeah.
Since April, we are streaming. And like Arjen said, we always try to do something different, something that it's either educational or it's funny or it's interesting. We really try to entertain you and have some fun at the same time. So And not always things are going smoothly. Yeah, sometimes we have problems. We have Catherine really trying to get in touch with us and having problem with the sound. And we have Graham with a funny head, and we have other things that are happening during the shows, during the streams. And in the film industry, they call them bloopers. Don't they do that? They're called bloopers, right? So Arjen has been very busy downloading all the streams that we have been doing until now, 35 streams. And he has cut out the bloopers of the stream. And we want to share with you 35 bloopers, or 35 streams and the bloopers of them. So no, we don't show you 35 streams.
No,
we show you the bloopers from 35 streams, the funniest moments of all the live streams. And we still have 2 other videos lined up, so we have some serious nice footage as well. But we want to entertain you with some nice videos. It will be the second day of Christmas on the 26th. But what I understood, the situation in Europe is not very, very pleasant. Most people are at home and they cannot go anywhere. They're not allowed to go anywhere. So maybe we can brighten up your second Christmas day, at least in the morning.
We are certainly trying.
That is what we want to do. We are streaming.
We are.
Yeah.
So, okay. Once again, thank you so much. Keep in mind on between the 5th and 7th of February, Virtual Expo /Duikvaker. That will be happening, that Simone briefly touched on. And in the meantime, until next week, I guess. Yep.
Okay. And guys, have a very nice Christmas. Make something nice from it. Think about us as well. We think of you. Yeah. And despite Corona, enjoy.
You know what? How about this? I have one more dessert, Simone. How about a Christmas greeting from the staff?
Yes.
Yeah?
Christmas greetings from the staff.
Yes. Here we go.
Yes, here we go.
Hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
From all of us at Lhasa.
We wish you a Merry Christmas
and a
healthy
a new
year.
Hello everyone. From all of us at Lhasa. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy New Year.
So, just a little dessert.
Well, nice to see you all.
It's nice to see you all as well. You're very welcome.
It's not all. This was just a few people during Gurja Bhakti. Not everybody can come or is able to come anymore because some of them, they have to find work somewhere else in construction, or they work on their fields. But every Friday we have a bunch of them still coming, and for some of you, there will be another video coming very soon.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, with that said,
thanks
a lot, everyone, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, awesome. Nice.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you and Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.